Hey, know what happened today? Wow, we finally got a new name for the church. It's gonna be called Peace Hamilton Church. The name of Peace Community Church Hamilton. Yes, that is the name, and the name will be corporation papers are being filed as I put this video on YouTube, and copyright. Have already been and copyright had already been filed and it been filed too in legal ways. Yeah, and most legal work is done. Finally, you know what I'm talking? Finally, it's like we're getting somewhere. I'm reading me and Pastor Mike Scott, who graduated out of Virginia College, out of Master Graduate. Oh my God, we had like a hell of a good time, in this. You know why? It's hard, not easy trying to come up with something. We'd never done anything like that. I had never done anything like this. He had never done anything. And it was a learning curve, and that brought me closer to God never before by doing it. Not only to help the guy, but we made a piece of history in the way place of worship will conduct their business. We have done it. I can't Today. I can't even believe I had done it. And I see, what I see of that name, Peacemakers, Peacemakers Community Church of Hamilton. Guess what? Guess what can happen? That way, it's sort of a name. Just the name itself has like power behind it. A lot of power, a lot of meaning, a hell of a lot of thought. Now, there were other names out there, you know, but they couldn't want to use the name Peacemaker. Unfortunately, that is copyrighted by Courtney. I use the name Peacemaker Journey instead of you, my show. Because of that, it would conflict with my radio show called Peacemaker Journey, be aired tomorrow at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. Yep. So yeah, um, that was quite exciting for me, and I mean, my God, I can't believe I did it. I mean, I look at myself and I'm feeling great. I done it. I can't believe Mike Scott and Jimmy Rickton and many people at the meeting, many people, a former congregation at the meeting house downtown, have got up and literally pulled it off. Got a new name. I can't believe it. It's had really, really have it's a long fight, a long battle. Finally, now we can go forward. Now but the problem is another lurking devil out there. Devil is Canada. Devil dishonorable Canada folks who not deliver papers. So we are delayed on getting that done. Also, we need to get a tax number. Not gonna take time because we have to get the paperwork for it, and that we we got the paperwork for it, but unfortunately we can't do anything because Canada folks are bloody on strike. But there's some news I've been hearing. There's a lot of talk going on in Ottawa about the postal strike in the last short time here. Know that is? Number one, that they are discussing in the chamber, in the committees in up in Ottawa on Parliament Hill, House of Commons up there, saying, look, they violated the work order by laying off people, striking workers. They violated that, and top of violation, they have done other things. You know what that is? They violated not that, but it would violate work. Well, on top of that, now the government, and now they're seriously talking about back to work legislation. They're really pushing for that in the House, right? I'm speaking. So maybe some point in the line, but also they've been talking. Oh yeah, Justin Trudeau been talking with the Prime Minister of UK about and the Royal Mail, basically, if they can use the name on Oregon. So Canada Post may become the Royal Mail in the future, if only if that is when the Canada takes when the Canada Post gets to be handed over to federal government. It may be considered Royal Mail like it used to be many years back, and that was before it became privatized, or it will be just privatized altogether. Anyway, so it's not easy thinking this, but it's true. So those papers are not even sitting there; they're sitting waiting for a strike then to be mailed. So we may be meaning it might take it will take 6 months before we even get the tax number. So that's another big long stretch to go through. So 6 months from now will be about almost July, August by the time we get it. You know, the name is already filed on a corporate database called Peace Community Search Hamilton. It's already filed into the base of into the illicit database of searches with searches of Canada called Search of Canada. List every worship from west to east and right in all around Ontario, from Catholic to Pentecostal and down to Anglican to from the additional ones to even list in there now, list the Peace Community Search in Hamilton been listed actually yesterday on the register of searches. Now, since we got that good news for us, I'm so happy we actually did it. I can't believe me and Mike Scott and Jimmy Rickton and a few other great leaders in the congregation have banded together and we've done it. I can't believe it. It takes something. It takes government. It's really so to me the pride of Hamilton is really brought out when we did it. I can't believe that's the pride of Canada, pride of Canada, pride of Hamilton. We did it with great pride and an honor and something that's going to be remembered for many, many years to come. I know something, and top of that, I can see long after I'm gone, from the face long after I'm gone and onward into heaven, I can see this church becoming a new standard in religion. Other churches will follow, while ones that didn't like it, I could see the Anglicans following us. Other churches come in there, and next thing you know, we established a huge congregation of people. I can see we going worldwide with this. It would be so much that we actually would it will put an end to all wars and bring a sense of peace among the face of the earth, and that is quite something. I can see that I see it in the future. I can see that coming in the future. I can see a sense of peace on this planet now that we have never had, never seen. It's gonna be among countries, people, nations, everything. What we done is we launched. What we launched today was the name of our new shirt. Our name of new shirt also stands for when he under it, peacemaker. While the Hiawatha going in the Iroquois Confederacy here, they have 6 nations all settled under one pine tree called the Great Tree of Peace. Well, it ain't for the Great Tree of Peace, guess what? I wouldn't be here. It ain't for a Great Tree of Peace and what happened in 1700 with the nations, that's 6 nations, 1700. You know what? I wouldn't even, you know what? Something, not the city would not even be here. There'll be people here, but the only people be here will be First Nations. Won't and the people of the United States. Yeah, people will come. People will be too, but the Confederacy are very inner now. Our shirts with the name peace in front of it. The hippies knew that 19. They knew they knew that peace was the way in 1960 with the movement. They knew that was the way, but it was in a time when things weren't too happy. We tried to bring it, but now today we know peace. I know peace is the way today, like it was then. But you know something? As it was in 1700 with when Hiawatha went across Lake Ontario. That was the Great Law of Peace was put in effect, and that I can say is honesty right there in a way. Also, too, is when they think of the United States, they tried to follow that pattern, but they didn't know how to do it, and they followed backfired on them. The hippies knew it, and of course, hippies of the '68, hippie 1968 did all flower styles at that time. They knew this. They knew the Great Law. They knew what happened. John Lennon even knew about it too. He knew the rules and the Great Law of Peace. He knew it, and unfortunately, the United States government did not want. When the government actually put the LSD into a culture to erase the hippies off, to erase the hippie culture, basically. While it worked, it destroyed the hippie culture at that time. And you know what happened next afterwards? Because the hippie culture was destroyed from it. Well, the Great Law of Peace did not really put into a Great Law of Peace because eventually it continued. But among the non-native people, it sort of ended right that point with the LSD being introduced, and then other things that came along with it. Well, that's within the hippie. That's the '60s. They knew. John Lennon even knew it, and John Lennon lost his life to that, believe it or not, because the United States government knew that if he were to institute the Great Law of Peace in the United States with the Six Nation Confederacy, the Great Law of Peace they knew that they couldn't go against it. They knew if they made it look like a murder, it made it look like a drive-by shooting in New York City. So what they did is they arranged for him to be shot in Manhattan. Basically, the feds did that on purpose. You know why? Cause to do that to keep him from moving forward. Because now, to me, and we turned around, took the same idea, that idea. We done it again. We did it. We called a peacemaker community, Sir Hamilton. Now, honestly, we get a whole damn community into peacemaking. You know what? And Canada have been doing UN peacemaking work for years, years, and years, basically. But now we're redoing it at a congregation. That is something we had never been done. What happened is have never ever been done before. I know something. Today, Sunday, today Sunday, December 1st. I made history. History was made today, and I was a part of it. And history was made back at the Elder Summit in Six Nations, where all the elders from all over Canada and the U.S. came on Six Nations to get a new treaty with the new treaty between the United States and Canada. It was called it was a treaty among all nations to make sure that all treaty law to be respected, past, present, and future, but they weren't. So we actually had to write up a whole entire treaty up with a 500-year calendar, and actually in that calendar, when I remember it, they said there would be another group coming along near somewhere within in Hamilton, gonna do is start something that's gonna bring this more culturally centered in a way. And we didn't know. I didn't know at the time, but little did I know today. I mean, that happened today. So, you know what? That I made history back then because of that. And that's where all treaty laws have to be respected, past, present, future, not including the J Treaty, basically. And I'm still standing behind that today, believe it or not. And it wasn't me doing that little thing Well, the government could walk all over the condominium drive, could walk in and start building condos, and the Indian Reserve would not be an Indian reservation. It'd be a big city. And there was a guy called Eddie Greenspan. He wanted to build condo from Brantford down down 54 highway all the way to Caledonia. He was going to build it on every damn road on down there and take all the farm. Like, no happen what? Unfortunately, the Iroquois Confederacy, their elected the Grand Council of Six Nations found out about it, and they spoke to him and they told him, you cannot do this on native land. His attorneys were trying to get them to do that, and at that point, the Grand Council said you can't do it either, and they were putting pressure on Eddie Greenspan. And finally, the Indian Affairs they stepped in on his toes in Toronto, and they said, "Look, you can't do it, sick name. Oh, we're all bet. They're just a bunch of drunken Indians live there. Well, I want to bet no, and that no hot Eddie Greenspan. He was he got himself. He ended up losing his license. He couldn't build him a home or condos, and it failed miserably. It never got started. It never happened. But that came very very close to it. And then shortly after that, or when we did it, when Elder Summit were brought in, you know what? And it was all, but he think the roof developer can get away. And I see it in Hamilton with the developer building huge condo building, but you know what? Units go empty every single day. Though they're gonna be now they keep going like this. I can see by by hmm, by 2035 I can see hundreds and thousands of empty units, hundreds and thousands of tents and shit. And the condominium developer will be stuck with all these empty units they can't sell. Got all these people in tents sitting in city parks and 100,000 tents in city parks as a result. And what's going to happen in the year 2035? Oh, developer, well, we got, and the government, we got a huge problem. City can say we got, when city can say across, we got this huge problem with all these tents and no place for these people go, and we can't get out of our parks. And they're gonna approach these condominium developers and say, "Here's the deal: if you were to, we're gonna surrender the condominium over to the local housing authorities in the city. For you, the income housing, here's the deal: you sign over. People already purchase condos while they will remain in there, but it will be open to those kind of people. All of a sudden, those people the tend to go down, and I see it coming, but it's gonna take that amount of time. I predict by the time it happens. You know what? People may laugh at me now, but I can 20. I see in 2035 and 2035, I gotta see that gonna become reality. Then I wouldn't be damn surprised. I said something like this at the Elder Summit that we're going to form a so-called peacemaker community, and everybody thought Elder thought, didn't think much. All of a sudden now, like I got home, I got freaking phone call from a couple of hereditary chiefs from Six Nations said, "Holy cow! Like you guys really done it. You got peacemaker. You and Jimmy Rickton got. You really know how you doing." I think I do sometimes. Sometimes, even when it comes down to radio broadcasting at CFU, I've been doing it since 1990, for the mid 90s. I've been doing it for mid 90s. I've been doing almost over 34 years. And you know what? I am very professional at job. I didn't get there overnight. I did it. I'm very professional at YouTube because I know when doing radio, you can't say bad 4-letter words. You can't do that. It doesn't guidelines of YouTube, and you can't do copyright because I already have. So I do have copyright. YouTube itself has a lot of restrictions around copyrights itself, so I can't say anything. I really don't. I really like the music. I won't put stuff in the background. Yeah. Anyway, so I am saying we wonder. Well, I said I can't. I made history today with the, the downtown BIC Hamilton made history. It's now called Peace and Unity Church of Hamilton. Blog over.